What's going on, everybody? It's Eric Rayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing a little pro tip with you in Madden 19 to help you get a little bit extra yards. This is going to be really quick, kind of to the point video today. Nothing too crazy, but this is something that I think, these are little things that sometimes people overlook or people just aren't aware of, and they can make the difference throughout the course of a game. So here I'm going to come out in Gun Bunch, but what I want to talk about today in this video is mainly like tight end flat routes. So most of you, obviously, that play this game, you're gonna have tons of plays, like this. So you have the tight end running to the flat, and the flat route is extremely important in Madden. It's a very good check down route. It is, it's a good way to move the ball. If people are playing a very safe style, like bend don't break defense on you, you have to be able to take your check downs and get your yards. The problem with flat routes, though, a good majority of the time is it's hard to really get them upfield for optimal yardage. So I'll show you what I mean here. So you see the flat's open, we've thrown it to the flat, and then you see what happens there. We got 2.5, maybe 3 yards, and I'm going to show you there's multiple reasons as to why this is. So number one, a lot of times, just depending on what the defense is in, you get something like this, right, where the tight end, first off, he kind of has a little kind of like a chip block type thing, but he's not really blocking anybody. He's just kind of having a weird reaction. So okay, that's one problem that you often see with flat routes. So that already puts him further behind the line of scrimmage, than he needed to be. That already knocked him back like 1.5 yards. So that's not good. Then when we throw the ball to him, he has to kind of slow down to catch it. They don't really catch these in stride very well. They kind of, you see how he's turning the opposite way to catch it? That slows him down. And then because of real player motion this year, he has to plant, more times than not when you throw this, you're going to plant before you go upfield. And all that slows you down. Meanwhile, the defender, none of this really affects him. He doesn't really have to plant. The real player motion doesn't really affect the AI players, which is kind of sucks. He kind of just gets to shoot out to the flat. And, we had all this room out here. We probably should have got 4 to 5 yards off of that. But instead, as you can see, the ball never actually gets 3 yards. We get about 2.5 yards, and that's no good, because 2.5 yards of play, that's not leaving you much to work with. Same thing if we were to go with a cover 2, with a cloud flat out there, as you'll see. We try to throw the flat route. Again, he kind of slows down where he catches it. He got about 3.5 there. But how can you make this better? Instead of using flat routes, which you can use, you can use whip routes to pretty much react the same way. Be a check down to the flat, but you're going to be able to get 5 yards consistently, which is what you want from a flat route. You want 5 to 6 yards, because that means if you check it down 2 plays in a row, you are getting a first down. So how do you put a whip route here? You just have to pull up your hot route, which is wire triangle. We select the tight end, which is A, and then you see it's actually called a zig in the game, zig or whip route, whatever you want to call it. You see zig is right stick to the right, so we do that. Now, you can see he's still going to the flat, but he's going to come inside first, fake inside, and then whip to the outside. So now watch the difference. We're going to go against the cover 3 first. This was the first play we ran. We only got about 2.5 yards. Now watch the difference this time. Look at that. We got 8.5, 9 yards, whereas the first time we got 2.5 yards. If we were extremely lucky and everything played out perfectly the first time, we maybe could have got 4.5. But with the whip route, look what you're guaranteeing here. You're guaranteeing, okay, there we got about 7. You're guaranteeing really good yardage with that. Same thing, let's go cover 2. First time we did cover 2, we got about 3.5 yards. But watch the difference with the whip. With the whip, okay, we got about 5 before contact and we fell forward. But like I said, 5 to 6 is what we're looking for. Cover 2 again. Obviously, cover 2 is going to limit this a little better than a cover 3 is, because you have that cloud on the outside. But you see, okay, we got about 5.5. You see, about 5.5 to 6. That's what we want. Before, we were getting 2 to 3.5 yards. So that's kind of just a tip today. Instead of using flat routes, try using the whip or the zig routes, because as you can see, the difference is quite noticeable. We're talking about 5 to 9 yards of play versus 2 to maybe 4 if you're lucky. And it really, yes, it gets to the flat a little bit later, but it's not that much later to where, we're saying that, oh, you're going to get sacked in that amount of time. No, it still gets to the flat pretty quickly. As you can see, I mean, even like right there, you can like lob it because you have so much space. You can actually lob it and try to get outside for more yards. And keep in mind, Austin Hooper is not like a great tight end in the game. He's not super fast or anything. So, you know, a guy like a Kelsey or Evan Ingram or just, you know, a Gronk, a better tight end here, going to be even more successful because those guys have a little bit more speed. So that's a tip for today. Something really simple, something you might have been overlooking. If you're looking just to, you know, pick up more yards throughout the course of the game, try using the zig routes instead. And I think you'll definitely be happy with the result, because the flat routes this year, they're really not as good to the tight end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.